Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, January 12th, 2016, one of the major headlines was the supposed bombing in Turkey, and I suspect that this bombing was yet another hoax, if not that, most definitely a false flag put on by the government and the Western powers who are waging this continuous propaganda war of blaming Middle Eastern extremists, Islamic extremists, and with the focus on Syria, which it is in this story. The headlines, the media response is that until the problems in Syria are squashed, these bombings will occur. It's all propaganda, it's all part of the post 9/11 war agenda, if you will, which is really an agenda that started long before 9/11 but has been pushed into accelerated mode in the wake of 9/11 in the last decade and a half. Anyhow, yesterday's bombing came on January 12th. Here in the United States, if you dial 112 into your cell phone, you're going to be connected to 911. 112 is the alternate dialing code for 911. CNN's footage of the bombing, the first thing they show is an ambulance driving by with this number on it, 112, on the date January 12th. It's always a numbers show, Truth Seeker. Also, yesterday's bombing came on a date with 49 numerology. 49 is a number of revelation. The last major bombing in Turkey was the Ankara Turkey bombing on October 10th, 1010. These are the numbers of revelation. 49, 121. I should have wrote 726 as well, and also 1010. But notice, the last bombing on Ankara, October 10th, 1010. Yesterday's bombing coming on a date with 49 numerology. They were also spaced out by 13 weeks and 3 days, the Ankara bombing, and yesterday's in Istanbul. Ankara in Jewish gematria equals 133, kind of like 13 weeks and 3 days. The word government also equals 133. This is government-sponsored terrorism blamed on a false boogeyman. Some other things interesting about the date numerology yesterday. It was a date with 22 numerology, the master builder number. Revelation has 22 chapters. Also a date with 13 numerology. Istanbul's on the 41st parallel, which is the 13th prime number. Likely not a coincidence. These things are really well mapped out, really well planned, really well coordinated. It was a span of 94 days between the two bombings. The reflection of 49. As for the location, Istanbul, Turkey, it has this gematria of 63, a number that was huge in the Paris, France bombings and shootings that were blamed on ISIS as well, just like this event. There's some more 63 coding in this story. Numbers that stand out in terms of the individuals mentioned: Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoglu. Interesting name gematria. In Pythagorean gematria, his last name sums to 33, which is true of so many prime ministers and presidents in this world. This is the signature of the gang members, the gang of 33. Oftentimes, they even change their names so they have 33 gematria. His name, the big way, sums to 123, like the word conspiracy. And all these men in high places, they are all part of a conspiracy. In this world, we're taught to tune out that word because it is the word of the day. We live in a monumental conspiracy. Our news is constantly pushing lies and deceit for agenda. That's called conspiracy. If you run away from the word conspiracy, it's because you've been programmed into being a sheep. Work on that. The headlines yesterday were that at least 8 Germans were killed. There's a reason they used 8 Germans. We'll get to that. They said the bombing took place between these two major tourist attractions. The location of those tourist attractions has interesting gematria. The 224 really stands out. Terrorist strike equals 224. This is a number often coded into terrorist bombings. It was heavily coded in the Paris, France attacks of November 13th. With regards to 8 Germans, big focus here on the Germans heard. 8 Germans has the gematria of 63, like Istanbul, Turkey, just like the numbers that showed up big in the Paris attacks. Paris equals 63, Charlie Hebdo equals 63. Numbers of significance. Think about what 3 6s represents. As for the bomber, they didn't give us his name. They probably hadn't approved the gematria coding yet, but they did give us the year, 1988. No coincidence. With the words poison and program equal 88, that's the purpose here, to program us and to poison our minds, to make people think Islam's this dangerous religion, which here in the United States, almost every citizen is convinced of, no matter their religion. I want to pick on the Christians, but it's beyond that. Talk to the atheists, the agnostics, the what have yous. Almost everyone in this nation from living here in the post 9/11 agenda thinks the same thing. Islam, the most dangerous religion. You talk to people, they're like, yeah, but those Islamic ones, they're the ones strapping the bombs to themselves. You don't see Christians doing that. It's just like, man, shut up. Shut up. You're getting that from TV. Stop watching the fucking TV. Go meet some Islamic people. Go meet some Muslims. They're really nice people. I used to teach in South Seattle. I used to teach elementary school. When I was there, it was the most diverse school district in the entire country. A lot of Islamic people in my classroom, a lot of Islamic parents. What I noticed is the Islamic parents seem to be most interested in their kids' education. A lot of family values in that religion. A lot of good community in that religion. I don't belong to any religion. I just try to keep an open mind and observe and see what's really going on. I rag on Christianity a lot. I realize there's good Christians out there. I know Christian people. I'm friends with Christian people. I just don't like religion. I wish everybody could see that it's here to divide us and not much else. Not too many people getting a lot of good out of their religion other than the community that it brings. You know? Most people just take on the religion they're born into. And you know what else I notice from talking to people who are Muslim and talking to people who are Christian? I feel like the Muslims are a lot more honest about their religion. The majority of Muslims I ask, I say, can you admit that if you were born here in the United States or in a Christian nation, you'd probably be Christian? Almost all of them say right away, yeah, I probably would be Christian. Ask that to a Christian, a lot of times they'll deny it. And the reason why is because their religion says that if you deny that Jesus is the Son of God, you're going to hell. So they can't even let out the truth from their lips for a moment. They're too frightened. They're too afraid. And that's where all this programming comes from the TV, from religion. It's all fear-driven. It's all Masonic. It's all coded by their numbers. That's why Jesus and Muhammad both equal 74, and those numbers are super important in their books. The Turkey bombing, you know, the articles are bringing up the blame for the Syrian president, Bashar al-Assad, who's just a puppet. The name Bashar al-Assad has gematria of 106, the number of prophecy. Very important number to the Zionists and the Zionist state of Israel, which was recognized by a 33-member vote on a date with 106 numerology. The word prophecy equals 106. The full title of the Syrian president has gematria of 113. Another number important to the Zionists and the Masons. All of these people are puppets. Puppets. What I want you to do after this video is go to YouTube. I want you to type in Arab League and Gaddafi. This speech is going to come up. The video is 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Watch it. He's talking about how the leaders in the Middle East, if they don't start standing up for one another, they're all going to fall to injustice, just as Saddam Hussein fell. And while he's giving the speech, the camera keeps zooming in on Bashar al-Assad. I want to know who the cameraman is. Why does he keep zooming in on al-Assad? This speech is from years ago, before Gaddafi was killed by NATO forces. Gaddafi killed by NATO forces, they said rebels. In Syria, it's NATO funding whatever ISIS is. for their photo ops. That's why they're always in NATO gear. It's the Western powers funding the opposition. They need it for the propaganda. They said this bombing in Germany happened at 10:20 in the morning. That's the 620th minute of the day. What stands out is the number 62 for Mason. Mason equals 62. Look at the location of the bombing. Gematria of 62. And that first word before square, Sultanmit, has gematria 44, the kill number, where the bombing supposedly happened. All this focus on Germany. Worst attack on Germans since 2002, but notice it happened in Turkey. That's why they like to do this for all these Western nations. They like to make the propaganda abroad and then bring it local through their TV. This is the trick. In this article, I did a search. The word German was used 7 times. The word Germany was used 4 times. I don't know if you can make that out. Did a search, 11 matches. 7 for German, 4 for Germany. Remember, Masonic is 74. World War II, World War I, Masonic creations with Germany at the heart of it. The leaders of the nations are in bed together. It's population control, getting the people to fight against each other. And it's wealth creation for the banker tyrants who rule over us. The Masons and Zionists. The Knights Templar, the first bankers of the world. Who controls the banks? The Zionist Jews. Same people who control your media and government. It's all in front of your face. They just leave it up to you to deny the truth. Also, this happened in Turkey, the nation with the crescent flag moon. Yesterday, the date of the bombing, it was a waxing crescent moon. Probably not a coincidence. These people operate by numerology, astrology, the moon. In case you missed my videos from October 10th on the Ankara, Turkey bombing, again, Ankara has gematria of 133 like government. Yesterday's attack came 13 weeks and 3 days later on a date with 13 numerology. Happened on a date with 28 numerology last time. October 10th bombing, Turkey equals 28. The numbers of Revelation, 1010, 726, 121. Gematrix.org does not do Pythagorean gematria. That's where you need the Writing the Beast website calculator as well. Pythagorean Revelation equals 49. Like yesterday's date numerology. They said 86 people were hurt in that bombing, killed. 86 has gematria of 928, just like Ankara, Turkey. Remember, 86 equals symbol, triangle, pyramid. 86 people killed were the headlines. Bombings by the numbers. Numbers that are symbolic. Again and again. You can go back and watch that video. I get into it in greater detail. But that's what's up here, Turkey, one of the Western powers. If you can't beat them, join them. The Arab League was established in history March 22nd, 1945, after World War II. A date written 22/3 in that part of the world. Masonic equals 223. It's the Freemasons running the show. 22 member nations until they banned Syria. Remember, 22, another number that comes from Revelation, the playbook. They always got their Revelation coding in all these events, Truth Seeker.